Howdy, bronies and Pegasisters. It is I, Daddy Sonic, and today we are gonna chill and discuss about love, death, and robots. Full-on spoilers. If you just want a review of LD plus R, check out my last video. Today, we're gonna calmly chat about some great things and some dumb things. We're also gonna have our official SonicHaXD LD plus R ranking at the end of this video, and it's gonna be better than any of these fucking idiots. So just sit back, relax, turn your speakers on to max, since I'm not gonna shout or anything, and enjoy some LD plus R spoiler talk. Oh my gosh, can somebody turn down the fire? Sonnie's Edge is a story about Sonnie and her friends going to fight a monster, but a mysterious man walks up to them and is like, "I'll give you money to lose." And then they're like, "Fuck off, mate." She's not even Australian. And then they go fight a monster. They win. Then some creepy blonde lady shows up to give some lesbo teasy, and then plot twist, she kills Sonnie. But plot twist, Sonnie was the monster the whole time and kills them both. The end, 10 out of 10. After rewatching this a second time, not only was it awesome watching the two monsters fight again, but it was quite fun noticing the subtle hints that are leaning towards Sonnie being the monster. When Dickens asks if Sonnie can lose the fight, not only was Sonnie pissed, but the carnivore also bumps the glass right when he says it. Sonnie stepping on glass and being fine. This line his friend says before connecting with the monster.
You okay, man?
And also Sonnie's friends being way more worried than their opponents. It's small details like this that make rewatching this very enjoyable. I also liked how the blonde lady used the exact same tactics Sonnie used to kill her opponent. Looking weak in front of their prey to wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. The last thing I want to talk about is a theory that not many people seem to think about. And that is, what if Sonnie was always a monster? And I mean, like, she never was a human to begin with. Think about it. It was never specified what Sonnie's body was like before she got the robot Sonnie body, only that it was badly damaged. So what if the two friends found the monster, Sonnie, brought it back to nurse it back to health, or give it the Sonnie body to let it live on? This theory is actually pretty plausible, because that would explain why she's so good even though she's only fought for a year.
17 straight wins to prove.
But most importantly, it would explain her motive. Sonnie's motive is she wants to get back at the people who did this to her.
She's carving up the men who did this to her.
But how does killing the monster count as revenge? That just seems like something that'll just get them mildly pissed off. Unless the ones she's getting revenge on are the monsters, because they were the ones that hurt her 1 year ago. I really like this theory, but there is one problem, and that would mean Sonnie was raped as a monster. Okay, we are dropping this. Next review. The Witness is a story about a woman who witnessed a murder to then run around the city to then kill the dude. But plot twist! The dude now witnessed the murder the same way she witnessed him kill herself, causing a loop. Believe it or not, The Witness's story is really not its strong point. It's just a lady running around the city and doing sexy dance. If this animation was a real-life short film, I don't think it would be this highly praised. I don't think it would be this highly praised. This 100% is carried by its very specialized visuals. In Spider-Verse, it's an animation with comic book traits covering around the movie. In The Witness, it's photorealism style with comic book traits splattered all around it. Like, the backgrounds look very realistic. The movement of the characters are obviously motion capture. The characters look realistic too sometimes, but if you really look closely, you will see that the characters have like pencil drawings and stuff that makes them obviously cartoon. You also see some comic book pow, poo sound effect word fonts. And there's also some parts of the film that you can see a fully drawn picture split into like some actions. There's one detail that I really thought that was really interesting. Whenever they close up onto a character's face, there's actually like some mist and some liquid on like the screen as if it's a lens like closing up to a character. I thought that's actually really cool. The very unique thing about this animation is it's trying its best to portray a real-life photorealism style with comic pencil-ish drawings together, and it makes for a very, very interesting and unique style, and I love it. I love it. Great job, Alberto. Great job, Pinkman Studios. I want to mention one more thing, and that is about the ending of this story, because I kind of disliked it. The ending is just basically the dude walks into the room, and then he gets shot, and then she notices, oh, it's a loop, and the end. But the way they present it makes it look like he's the bad guy. The moment she pulls out the gun, he should have just put both hands behind his head and get onto the ground. But no, instead he pursues her and gets shot.
Idiots!
What should have happened is the moment he opens the door, she shoots him and he dies. Then, when she looks out the window, she sees the dude again. And at that moment, she realizes he wasn't chasing her because he wanted to kill her, but he wanted to explain that there's a loop happening. The whole thing is a misunderstanding. So now she has to explain this to the dude, creating the loop. But no, the dude approached her, which turned it from a misunderstanding to, I want you dead.
Just die! Just freaking die! What the heck is wrong with you?
Now, even though I don't think it has a particularly strong story, the animation and how intense it made me feel was enough for me to call this a masterpiece. Liang and his father are hunting a Hulijing. While hunting the fox, Liang meets another young Hulijing, Yan. Before anything much could happen between these two, the father kills the Hulijing and Yan runs away. Years later, Liang's father dies, while Liang and Yan become friends. Liang Yan moves to Hong Kong to be a train engineer. By the way, this is when England started taking over Hong Kong, so that's why there's a lot of Englishmen in this short. One night, she meets Yan in Hong Kong. Yan tells him that she has lost her powers during the modernizing of the world. She is now completely human. More time passes and Hong Kong is now a futuristic steampunk land. Okay? Also, Liang is super smart and can build robots now. Cool. One night, Yang comes to Liang for help. She has become a cyborg sex toy, and she has had enough. Liang helps her out by modifying her body into a cyborg Hulijing. They part ways, and Yang becomes a vigilante and will hunt down all the bad Englishmen. The end. Wow! What a story, Mark. My expectations went right through the roof. I thought we were gonna get a simple, forbidden love story about a human and a monster. But no, instead we get an ancient China advancing into steampunk futuristic style, and our precious girl turned into a vigilante that roams around the night. I'm gonna call her Batfox. Okay, so now I'm just gonna talk about some things that I liked and disliked about this short. The transition from ancient China to futuristic steampunk is mind-blowing. Everything was just going very historically accurate, so then all of a sudden, future. This is what I meant by I did not expect that from my review. Not the turning cyborg part, that was shocking, but steampunk shocked me even more. I also really like Yang's character. She turned from a girl who just wants to live her life to there is no justice in the world, so I will bring it to you. So the thing that I said that I didn't really like, the oomph part in my review that I mentioned back then, was the main character, Liang. He doesn't really have a strong motive in this story. He goes to Hong Kong to find a purpose. Then he gets good at building robots. Good for you! That doesn't make you interesting. At the end of the story, Liang helps Yang turn into a cyborg Hulijing. But why? Cause they're good friends? Cause it's the right thing to do? If those are the reasons, that kind of makes Liang a boring character. Now this next part is my interpretation of how I feel about Liang. And keep in mind that what I'm about to say is just like it's just an interpretation, like nothing is confirmed. I believe Liang fell in love with Yang, but he can't tell her. Ever since they were kids, Liang already had a bit of an affection for Yan.
A man can fall in love with a Hulijing just like he can with a human woman.
It's not the same.
Not the same? I saw how you looked at me.
And when they grew up, they became friends. But Liang never could come out to her. Liang can never share his true feelings with her because of his father. His father told him that Hulijings would bewitch the men into a loving relationship. If he fell in love with Yan, then that would make his father right. Then that would make killing Xiao Chun right. So part of Yang is held back to telling her the truth. Maybe he went to Hong Kong to leave this part of his past, to be able to move on. But as if it were fate, he meets her again. I feel like he didn't help Yan because they were friends, but because this is his way of showing his love. Even if she never knows, that's fine with him. A certain character from Game of Thrones kind of made me think this way. I really hope we get a second episode of this, because there is so much to extend from Good Hunting. Also, that cyborg Hulijing at the end was so cool. I really wish there was a bit more of it, so here's hoping for season 2. Two dudes join the army, and they are total bros. One night, one of the bros dies, and that makes Solo Bro very sad. Now Solo Bro is gonna find the two werewolves that did this, and 2v1. He wins! He then takes the dead bro's body and leaves the army. Then he buries his bro's body, concluding their story. Bro. That was boring. After Sobayaski dies, it gets so boring! And we don't even get to see him turn into a werewolf! Disappointed! Decker is boring. His racist comrade and commander are boring. Everything leading up to the fight was boring, except for Sobayaski, but he dies! So let's just skip to the fight. The fight is brutal and fantastic. It's what makes this short good. Without this part, the short would not be anywhere near passable. Like, the last thing that I can remember that's werewolf related that was really good was the model from Cabin in the Woods. Fun fact, if you look up the most viewed LD plus R video on YouTube, it's not the trailer. It's this damn werewolf fight. Also, when the transformation was happening, I was shouting, "Werewolf penis! Werewolf penis! Werewolf penis! Werewolf penis! Werewolf penis! Disappointed! After the fight, Decker comes back and gives his friend one big sniff. Okay, that's a little bit weird there, buddy.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, dude, that's kind of creepy, man.
Soldier.
Oh, you're referring to that. Okay. One thing I really liked about this is that Sobayaski really loves America, but Decker doesn't really care. He just wants to protect his friend. So at the end, even though Decker doesn't respect the army and just tosses his dog tag, he still returns Sobayaski's dog tag. He still wants to honor his lost friend's memory. See? Even when we have our differences, things we support, things we like, things we believe in, we can still come together and hate the season finale of Game of Thrones. I'd say just go watch the fight on YouTube and check the rest out if you're interested. You know what? There was one scene that I'm a bit confused with. Let me check this again. Wait, I don't remember this music. Wait, what's going on? Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, no! Whoa, hold on, I know it's not safe for work, but come on, this is whoa, what's going on? Son, don't look! Oh my god! Okay, he's going for the kiss! I'm in a severe and continuous lapse of my judgment. I wish I could say that this is the last time I would make a mistake, but it won't be. A journalist named Clara was invited to interview the legendary artist Zima Blue. Zima started off in portraiture, but he wanted something bigger, so he looked to the cosmos and started drawing murals. One day, Zima did something interesting. In the middle of his mirror, he added a tiny blue square, then began Zima's downward spiral to more crazy art. When Claire meets him, Zima explained his origin. He started off as a simple android to clean ceramic pool tiles. Slowly he became more and more modified, till he became Zima Blue. Yearning for meaning through his art, he unveils his final piece of art. He immerses himself in the pool he was originated from, stripping away his modifications, and goes back to his originated state as a simple cleaning machine, where he will finally find meaning and happiness, where he will finally go home. I'm not gonna get in depth with this brilliant short. Instead, I'm gonna talk about why I love this short on a personal level. I've been learning design for the past 7 years. We learn how to use color, how to arrange shapes in posters, what the eyes will notice when we look at a picture, etc. We also learn a lot about other famous designers, their styles, their accomplishments. But then we've got some oddballs, some people who make their art particularly interesting. I feel like the best example I can give here is Banksy. You know, recently he did the shredding balloon girl art thing. He's never shown his face. Every single one of his arts like cost a fortune. He's really talented. He's very, very fascinating. And now I want to bring this back to Zima Blue. The moment he reveals the mirror with a blue shape in the middle, that's not art anymore. That's a statement. Like, okay, you can argue saying like, oh, you see now there's like the little blue tile inside the middle of this whole very detailed mirror. Now, even though the whole thing was very detailed, however, everybody's focus will be onto that little simple tile that reflects on how everybody puts a lot of effort in this stuff, but nobody really cares about the effort. All they care about is the thing that stands out more. Even though the thing that stands out more isn't even that more detailed, but it stands out more, so we'll notice it more. Like you can make some argument like that. But then Zima then starts going more and more crazy, and at that point it's like, oh, okay, there's no like some sort of art meaning in this anymore. Now it's totally something else. I feel like in the end, when we create art, we do it because, well, money, but we also do it because we want to tell a story. Each and every one of us wants to find a way to express ourselves, find a way to let people know things by not telling them, but by showing them. Zima told us his journey of finding purpose, and it is magnificent. A team are on a mission to reach beyond the Aquila rift, but an error happens on their space room and they end up somewhere else. Our main character Tom meets an old friend, Greta. They chat and have sex, then Tom decides not to trust Greta anymore and wants her to reveal the truth. And she does. It turns out Tom was in a dream the whole time, but in reality he's been in a hive web structure, and Greta is a spider. Tom screams, and Greta returns him to the dream world without his recent memories, doing it all over again. It's a good story, but it's not that good. Like right now, if you want to get views about Love, Death, and Robots, just put Greta's face on the thumbnail and then type ending explained, and voila, views. So since this one is so loved, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and talk about some negatives. Tom sucks. Tom is boring. Why should I care for his well-being? I cared more about the drop shit in Lucky 13. And that thing is an inanimate object. It's not like we know why he needs to get past the Aquila rift. Does he have a family he needs to return to? Does he have a promise he needs to fulfill? No one knows. He's just a boring Hugh Jackman wannabe with a nice ass. His friends don't participate much either.
Look at her, Tom. Look at her!
The only character I liked was Greta. She seemed nice and supportive and kind of cool. Which brings me to my next point. Greta did nothing wrong. So I see many theories, 20, 40-minute fucking theory videos talking about whether or not Greta is an evil identity or not. And my response is,
Seriously, what the fuck?
so many people think Greta is bad, and I think she's the good guy. Let's weigh the good and bad with each other and see what we get as a result. She made this elusive dream for Tom so he wouldn't suffer. She told Tom the truth about being light years away from his original destination. She was the one who suggested to wake up Tom's friends. And by the end, when Tom wanted to know the real truth, she reveals it to him. And when Tom couldn't handle it, she brings her back to the dream so he wouldn't suffer. The only bad thing that I could see that makes Greta a villain is if she was the one that made the route go wrong and then hit her nest.
A mistake in my work? No way.
But we don't know that! That's not confirmed! Everything else I just said actually happens! Greta has been nice and supportive throughout the whole entire short. She never turned evil, even after she was found out. She was never like, haha, you caught me, I'm evil spider bitch, and I'm gonna make you suffer now, haha. No, she never did that. She was always supportive and always cared about Tom. It's a lose-lose situation no matter what. Either stay in the dream and live happy until you die, or stay in reality and be with the spider and die. No matter what, it's not a happy ending. Tom can't escape, and Greta is just making his final moments happy. How does that make her a bad guy? You know what? I have a theory. I have a theory as to why so many people like this short. It's because they had arachnophobia. It's because when they saw the spider, they were like, oh my gosh, Greta's a monster! Ugh. Okay, honestly, unbelievable. Just because Greta is a fucking spider doesn't make her a bad guy, okay? Oh my gosh, we live in 2019. We should be more accepting of these sort of things. I can't believe you guys just said Greta's a fucking demon and she's manipulating Tom because she's a spider. Unfucking believable. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. Hashtag Greta did nothing wrong. Greta did nothing wrong, do you hear me? Overall, I thought this was fine, but man, do people like this one way too much. Like, people have made so many videos just talking about this one, like 20-minute videos, essays, just analyzing this sort of thing. I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. If anybody likes this one, it's okay. Let me tell you guys something. If you really like Beyond the Aquila Rift, why don't you give Matrix a shot? I think that movie's pretty good too, and kind of the same concept. Okay, I'm done. I love you if you like Beyond the Aquila Rift. I'm just stating my opinion, okay? I just think it's overrated, okay? Okay. Boy, I went mad. Alright, enough for the crap. It's time to get into the SonicHaXD LD plus R ranking. Please note that this is my personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's okay. Just please don't witch hunt me. Alright, here we go. Number 18, Alternate Histories. Number 17, Ice Age. Number 16, The Dump. Number 15, Sucker of Souls. Number 14, Fish Night. Number 13, Blind Spot. Number 12, When the Yogurt Took Over. Number 11, Helping Hand. Number 10, Beyond the Aquila Rift. I know I goofed on this one a lot, but it's still got a good story and the visuals are amazing. So yeah, congrats on being number 10.
You did it. Good job. I can't believe it. I'm proud of you.
Number 9, 3 Robots. It's the most hilarious one. I think all 3 robots are great, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of them in the future. Number 8, The Secret War. Great visuals, great story, great battles. Number 7, Shapeshifters. Yeah, the story sucks, but werewolves, so fuck yeah.
I mean, I'm like, if it makes me furry, so be it.
Number 6, Suits. This was hella entertaining. Number 5, Lucky 13. Great visuals, great story, great battles, I cry every time. Number 4, Good Hunting. Man, what a great story. Love it! Number 3, Sonnie's Edge. Great monster fight, awesome twist ending. Number 2, The Witness. The art style alone made it onto number 2. Number 1, Zima Blue. I couldn't resist. I love the story, I love Robert Valley's style, I love everything about this. Zima Blue is awesome-tacular. Please don't copyright strike me, Jeremy. And that's all I have to say. Now I'm gonna give some closing statements, some final remarks. So this is the part where you guys can slowly leave the auditorium. Like, you can start getting up on your seats, because I'm just gonna start rambling about some end stuff. So one thing I did notice that was a complaint about LD plus R was the amount of photorealism animations inside of the series. Like, there's just too many and not enough unique animations. While I agree, I think each episode presenting a new type of animation style would be nice and cool, but at the same time, each of these directors kind of had an idea. 5 or 6 of them just happened to be like, oh, I want to do some photorealism style. I think that'd be very cool. Or if that's what they're good with, and that's why they decided to do something like that. I do feel like I would like to see more styles of animations, but I don't think that automatically makes the ones with photorealism bad. But yeah, hopefully, and onto my other topic, these mistakes and some more things that they can learn from can be fixed and processed and done better if they ever make a season 2. David Fincher, Tim Miller, this was great. And I think you guys can improve so much more and get so many more talented people to make stuff for this. And I believe that if there ever was a season 2, I would definitely watch it. And yeah, that's really all I've got to say about Love, Death, and Robots. It's time to put this thing behind me now. It's time to move on. I need to start working on my Mortal Kombat 11 video. If you guys, some of you guys who are subscribed to me know me that I love goofing on NetherRealm Studio stuff, and Mortal Kombat's been out for like more than a month now, so I gotta really go and just hurry up and start making my goofs on them. I got plenty of ideas. I plan on releasing 5 short videos about the Mortal Kombat 11. It's not gameplay stuff, it's more about the story, and I plan on late June, somewhere around July, hopefully I can get it out. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that, and I hope I'll be having a fun time making those too. However, we're gonna have some distractions, sadly, because I just bought Team Sonic Racing, and this thing is probably gonna take up some of my time. Like, I can't really give an opinion about it, but I will say it's fun at least, but I don't know if I'm gonna be like, wow, this is a masterpiece kind of fun, but we'll see. I'm still enjoying it right now. So yeah, this is just me rambling right now. I'm just having some fun chatting. And I should probably run away now because everything is on fire for some reason. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.